that was voting, there is more chance that it's going to be a legitimate end to that election. When you leave, like government is for the people who show up. And if the 22% is showing up to wipe your vote away from you, that's your fault because you need to get everybody to go and vote. And that is the real answer to all of this. And I have been there when there was paper and no machines, and then it was a machine, and then it was another machine, and then it was another one after that. Because, well, you were gonna do it faster. And then faster wasn't faster. So this is a go back instead of go forward. But from my perspective, it is the technology nowadays that people are wanting to use, and then it isn't as effective as when you had a ballot in front of you. But you have that in New Mexico. That paper is still there. And you can go back to it when and if you need it. And if things are not working the way you want them to, it's because somebody else had a different idea. And they had the power to change it. So if you really want to know what happens to your vote, make sure you're voting and you have everybody else voting that you know would like to have an election that they can believe in, then you're doing your job. The thing I call is you are an army of one. You can take your opinion, whether it's Bob or Dale or you, to other people and get them involved. That's why we're the U.S. You know, yesterday they were talking about a crash. The whole world is on pins and needles because what happens if it crashes in the USA? There you go.
Where are we at? Where are we at today?
I haven't yet. So even though we think that we don't influence, we influence all the time. And you, as one person, are the biggest influencer. And then you stand up to run so that you can make it better. Make it more reasonable. That's why we're here, and that's why we're the ones that are in front of the parade. Because we'd be dragging those other people behind us. And we have to do it this year. We have to do it this year. And they like us getting into, well, I don't agree with you, and you don't agree with me, and all that. They like us doing that. So what we really have to do is find out where we agree with each other and get the job done.
Well, Karl Marx says it's not a matter of who votes, it's a matter of who counts the vote.
There you go.
Well, that's why it says
And that's why Clay being a scientist and me being a scientist, we are the guys and the women out there that really need to make sure that we're not using a Marxist system, or we're using an American system.
Well,
because we can all vote and we can get the vote out. And I did a demonstration in Cruces where an 83-year-old woman never saw a thumb drive, put it in the machine, and flipped it in less than 3 seconds from Trump being ahead by 1,800 votes. She put it in the machine, and all of a sudden, 3 seconds later, Trump was losing and Biden was winning by 1,800 votes. Never saw a thumb drive before in her life. Didn't know how to orient it to put it in. That's how fast the elections could be cheated with machines. That's why we have to go to paper.
Or you have process controls and security in place where
Okay,
people
no,
can't
no,
just.
stop this, stop this, now.
Okay.
And if I have someone here older
You
than
got
me,
12 minutes
then
to get
I'll
through
listen
4
to you.
people.
Yeah.
That you go to a one, looking at one, and forgetting about the other 99, just to be right with this one, and leaving those people behind, shame on you. Shame on you. You have to get, we
Mayor?
have people who are here today that are standing up to run. And
You're actually standing.
he's standing right now.
He wants to ask a question.
I want to ask a quick question so that the rest of us can get through this, and I'll be. My name is Eddie Verallo.
Oh, hi.
It's nice to meet you. I heard a lot about you from Robert.
Okay,
And,
Good stuff.
I'm gonna start calling you guys a dynamic duo
okay.
on technology, because so anyway, I want to say this, I am running for mayor. But this is not concerning my campaign. This is concerning the last campaign where Manny Gonzalez ran for mayor and I was one of his helpers. It became very obvious to me that the city clerk, he's not an elected official, he's an employee. And he was able to manipulate the petitions that were signed and have a hearing, like a hearing officer. And he doesn't represent Bernalillo County, in my opinion. You will, because the city is in the county and you have all these mandates to run elections.
Right.
So we have a private city clerk changing the destiny of the election. He denied Manny Gonzalez public funding, and yet they did the same thing. The unions paid for the $5 for the petitions. I'm not asking you to answer the question. I want to let you know that you need to address this, because a city employee who is deemed city clerk cannot be in charge of elections and having hearings about public fundings and all of these things. So, Clay, I know you have a million things you
I'll
have
write
to,
this down.
you have to learn this, because for the municipal elections, you're still in charge, not an employee of the city. And it devastated the candidate. I saw it. I actually watched this. So that's my comment. Thank you for being here. Madeline, thank you for having this young man here and his neighbor.
The dynamic duo.
You like
I like
that?
it.
Andrea, do you want to?
I don't really have a question. I did notice though, my husband and I both got our absentee ballots and now that we didn't ask for.
Was it actual ballots or applications? In the past, they used to send applications to everybody. Now they are sending ballots. I was wondering, did you get ballots?
I have them at home. I was
Can I
saving
catch
them
it?
to take the day of the election. I was just figuring out to take them with me.
Can I catch on you?
Absentee in the past.
No, well, I didn't vote absent. I didn't vote at all in 2020, but somebody voted absentee for me.
Oh, wow. Because that, I thought that was,
So that may have been what you did.
the new law was that if you have requested in the past, you will automatically receive your ballot.
I never have requested it, and
Did you report this to the Republican Party? Because they have lawyers that if they have good enough evidence, they will pursue. Did you report it to them?
the 2020 vote when I voted, but
It might be a little late,
I didn't vote, but they voted, someone voted by
Right.
mail for me.
Right.
So that may be why I got the thing, but I haven't reported to anybody.
That should have been reported. It might
I
be too
did,
late
nobody
now.
cared.
Who did you report it to?
To the Valencia County Clerk.
Oh, Valencia.
The head of the Republican Party, the head of the Democratic Party, New Mexico, nobody cared.
Do you want us to follow up on that?
They have
It's not
to
gonna make a difference. I just thought maybe you might wanna know that about the ballots. I can send you a picture whenever you want me to, when I come home.
That'd be great. I mean, if you don't want me to follow up, I really can't do anything about it, but I'd like to know about it.
There's really nothing to do about it in 2020, and, but just need something to know.
Mary?
I'm curious, is Chase,
Yes.
Chase, I was just wondering, do you have any questions or thoughts? It's so amazing to have a guy without gray hair.
No, I don't.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm Mary Ingham. I'm running for County Commission District 2 in Southwest Albuquerque. And just wanted to let you know, we are working, it's more complicated than I knew, to have a team for the county. So that we'll have a card that all the county folks, there are 3 county commission seats that are open. 1 is unopposed with Walt Benson up in the north side. So there's, Renee Coronado is in this area in the southeast, and I'm in the southwest. And so what we're trying to do is to put together a cards that people can take to and say, here's it'll potentially be 3 names that you could vote for. Clerk and treasurer, everybody can vote for. And then if you're in one of the 3 districts, one won't make so much difference. But, so we're working on that. But financially, there's a lot of struggles with combining campaigns, but we just feel like we have to do something different. We need to do, to get some people's hands that can take a package deal. Because what happens, there's 5 people in the county commission. Right now, there are 3 progressive people, and they have hired a new progressive county manager. They got rid of the good one that we had, kind of illegally as well. So if God would favor us with putting in Renee Coronado and myself, we would have the 3. And this is 1/3 of the state, this county, in terms of voters, in terms of a lot of things. So we could make a huge difference in our whole state. So we're really trying to get people on board with that idea to, take, because like where we live, in the whole Southwest, from Central to Sleta, from the West Mesa to Broadway, we have 1.5 House districts where somebody is running. That's it. No Senate. So in Southwest, we're gonna focus on county, because that's pretty much all we have. Nobody runs. That's why I'm the grandma that's run for Senate and House and this now, because we need people to run. And it's not fun. It's kind of fun. It's a lot of work. But it's really important in these days. So that's what, Clay and we're on the same team. So if you have any thoughts on team and how to pull this thing together, really, we can use all the ideas and all the creativity and all the help in doing that.
Is the party helping you guys?
I have
Yes.
access to GOP data center. That's a big help. I'm not making a joke of it. That's a big help.
I think they'll do anything to help that they can. They're behind the idea.
They were doing phone calls for candidates for a while. Are they still doing that?
They're going to do get out the vote and stuff like that, which is perfect. We need our non-voting Republicans to get out to vote. I want to make one real quick clarification. I'm not an IT guy. I'm not a technology guy. I'm a business systems analyst. So we take IT and we put processes and procedures and controls in place to overcome any deficiencies that might be in the available IT. And that's what I've done for 34 years at San Diego National Labs. And that's it's not always classified. I work mostly in the unclassified work, but it's high security, and you can put controls in place to protect the systems from vulnerabilities, and we did that. So anyway.
Would you be a crusader for the bingo machine?
I'm sorry?
Would you be a crusader for the bingo tumbler?
I would go for
He does
that.
not want to be a crusader, you should.
I
I said I would go for that because it's a random method,
Right.
and it would be within the law. But we might have to make changes to the administrative code,
He
just so you know.
used to
I'll help you with that.
crusader.
That Crusaders, I'm okay to Crusade.
See?
that.
The
because I know
dynamic
enough.
duo is on
I
the
know.
bingo
You
machine
can't
trail.
say, you can't say,
What have I
I'm not a
started?
crusader.
I know enough about that. Being a crusader for the other
Okay,
thing, I don't know
wait,
enough.
stop it.
Open mouth and shit.
I have adults here, I think.
Yeah, what?
I have adults here, I think.
You're thinking, no, we're
Not really, but. And
just
I
told me, Joe.
really, as the representative from We the People New Mexico, I really appreciate anyone who walks through that door that's willing to learn with the people that we invite. And, but at the same time, we have an election that is probably the most important election other than the first one. and a war that gave us the opportunity to have an election. And we need to really pinpoint the turning point. Where is it turning? Everybody is trying different things, trying to, to get elected. And elected is what counts. He has to get elected. He is someone that the whole county has to vote for, okay?
His opponent is Emerge,
Everybody is Emerge.
She.
And Emerge does not have what I call control over everything. But when you say that word, or any word, that you are giving your opponent validity. I'm a business owner. I do not talk about the business that the other people are in, ever.
That's good,
Because
man.
when I
Don't
do
be
that,
Yeah.
I am helping them.
Right. Yeah.
I am helping them. I'm giving them free advertising. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you have an idea of what to do about a candidate and what that candidate can do that would help them get elected, do it on the positive side. Not because you think that you can complain about Emerge and the person you're talking to is gonna believe you. My daughter once said, and I believe her, that people are funny. You go to a movie, it's to you the worst movie ever, and then you tell all your friends, oh, don't worry, don't spend your money. It's a horrible movie. And they will go out and go to the movie just because you said it was going to be a horrible one. So every time you do that, helping your opponent, then you have to work twice as hard. What can you do? What is your specialty? What do you plan to help the person who needs to vote for you? You have enough to think about all of that to get the elected ballots that you need to win, period. And never ever talk about the negativity. There's plenty of other people out there who do that.
Well, I was just gonna mention, I put a paper up there, on the 24th in the morning at the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center, there's a Get Out the Vote training by the Leadership Institute. And it costs $15, but you also get a dinner or a lunch at the Pueblo Cultural Center. So it's pretty much free, but they want, people to commit to doing that. They canceled the last deal they had set, so, it did, because they didn't have enough people, so we really like to get people to go to that. It seems kind of late on the Get Out the Vote, but if we get out the vote in August, then people get really going on it, then we're steps ahead anyway, so.
91 days
All
left
right.
today.
Madeline, if you, will you put that on your, or maybe it is.
Well, it's really
already.
Yes,
Okay.
we're done.
Thank you.
Because 9:30 is when we're finished. And there is information up there for anybody who wants to take it with them. And,
Clay, you can have palm cards or
Oh, yeah,
business
thank you.
cards or something that we can have.
Sure, I got business cards and phone cards.
Okay.
What's the number? Okay.
Anybody want? Anybody want?
Find it. Just try to make that one feature.
Wow, that would, yeah.
Yeah.
You want it?